Although interestingly, this does relate to all repressed anger through here. And that you were starting to kind of get into more expressing it, you know, like, you know, more vocalizing, because with a tight jaw, it's all about keeping things down. So, you know, I think gradually as you get used to it and you start to let some more screaming out, screaming is an anesthetic. It makes you that you can actually handle it, you know, because it's kind of like if that's the energy that's trapped in there, which is a repressed scream, a repressed anger, right? Then we need to get that scream out, you know? And you can just scream like out the, you know, out the door. But that's sort of what I'm intuitively kind of feeling, you know? Especially on those two outer ones. But it takes people, like when I first started working on Jayagor, he was like that really quiet and, you know, and then once I got him into screaming, it was like, fuck, now he screams whenever I work on him, he's just screaming it out. And it's like so much easier for him to handle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I got him on my fucking online course for, you know, and now he's just like telling everyone, you know? And even that lady Phyllis, you know, she's like, you gotta let it out to all the people in the class and stuff, you know? It takes a while because it's so counter to what we've been told, you know, throughout our lives, like hold it in, don't let, you know, screaming's bad, or, you know what I mean? Anger's bad, you know? So we just sort of, we don't know what to do with that energy. You know? So anyway, that's sort of what I'm feeling a bit. But I mean, you know, it's been there long. This is like probably, like I said, from childhood is what I'm thinking, you know? Maybe it was also like, can be cultural, you know, like the way you're brought up to hold it stuff in, you know? I don't know much about your upbringing, you know?
Well, I mean, this is, to me, it's, you know, it's this reaction to trying to deal with pain. You know? But it does, there's the anger element for sure. It's just going on, this is really pissing me off.
Exactly,
I don't like this. Why is this guy doing this to me? I feel better. Oh, right.
What was that? You feel better,
No, I mean, it's, you know, I'll tell you why. You know, because for your benefit, so it's kind of like, fuck.
It does your brain.
It's kind of like rock in a hard place.
That's right.
You just gotta suck up and bear it, but it doesn't help.
But screaming would help.
Gosh. It's just amazing how fucking tender that shit is.
Oh man, and you've left it, like you kind of let, not that you knew how to deal with it, but I'm just saying this has been left for a shit long time to a point where it's really not good, you know? A bit of white tiger balm and magnesium cream. Because it's not just your toes, like this is like super tight, you know? Yeah, it's like 10 out of 10 tight. Big breath. So there was a movement, I don't know if you heard about it, in the 70s called the primal screaming. You ever heard of that? Yeah. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about, basically. Being able to actually, that's what helped me when I was doing that rebirth thing that I was telling you about, where I actually accessed a lot of my anger from my childhood. And once it came out, people were like, fuck, you know? But it was like primal screaming, and it was just, that energy, you know, that trap, that hadn't been there for fucking 15 years or something. I was in my 20s, you know? But it was, you know, it had to come out, basically. So I don't know. I kind of get into the primal screaming. I get into laughter therapy. I get into, you know, kind of basically a lot of emotional stuff. Because look, this is like a fucking steel cable coming up your leg here, you know? And that's not actually a bone. That's tension, you know? Like that, I call that the outer little toe man, you know? So it's just, there we go. But you know, like if you're not used to kind of anger release and it's counter like to who you've been taught to be, you know, then you can do it. Sometimes it's nice to do it on your own somewhere where you go into like a private, you know, setting where it's like the ocean when you're swimming. You know, for me that was when I was in Byron Bay at the time, and I was just Suffolk Park or something, you know, where our friend Kristen Stokala was. And I'd just go out into the ocean and fucking scream and punch the waves, you know? And it was really therapeutic, you know? Yeah. And then I'd just go out into the forest or something and scream, you know?
But I mean, are you going out there just feeling chill and then going, okay, now I'm gonna scream, or are you kind of going out there?
I'd start deep breathing. And I breathe in, because when you deep breathe, you're going to access your subconscious stuff. And when I'd start to feel it, because I think what happened with because it was the deep breathing exercises that I was doing, is what they called rebirthing back in the day, now called integrative breath therapy.
Okay.
And you deep breathe into your hara, and especially that dantian point below your belly button. And you just kind of then go and you watch what comes up. Because whatever's trapped in here will start to come into your consciousness, you know? And you can either go, I'm going to push that down, or I'm going to let it out. And for me, it was anger. And sadness. As I say, to me, anger and sadness kind of like, the anger's over the sadness. Because it's like the you know, the sadness is kind of, you feel vulnerable, and the anger is more, you know, but then you can also feel, you know, we're taught anger is bad. We're also taught sadness, we were taught fucking most emotions are bad, or a sign of weakness, or, you know, but I actually believe it's the opposite. I actually believe when people tell you your emotions are bad, it's just, they're actually trying to control you, because then you can't be true to yourself. You know, because anger can be healthy at times. You need to be angry, you know, to protect yourself. So yeah, I for me personally, it was fucking mind blowing, you know, and I think for a lot of guys, you know, it's just culturally we're taught to keep this shit in, and it's just not good. Have you done like self-introspection to look at what the source of your anger is? No. That's sometimes good too, especially when it's really old. But it's kind of scary because we get into a particular psychological state where we kind of have a definition of who we are. And sometimes if we're letting out these emotions, it challenges that, you know? Like, I'm a mellow guy, you know? And you're like fucking angry. I'm not so fucking mellow. kind of accurate, in my opinion, too, that the left side relates to either your own feminine energy or yin energy or women in your life.
Oh yeah.
So it could be like mother, it could be, you know, sisters, or, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, I'm getting crimping in my fucking head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let you breathe. This can be good. If you want to chuck some of that on your hip too, magnesium, it's good for cramping.
Could be this little insane, I'm not sure. Could be something related to what's going on.
I mean, you know, it could be purely coincidental, but you know.
I haven't had any cramping before.
Okay. I see it when you're doing deep excavate. When I'm doing deep excavation, it'll sometimes happen.
Oh yeah.
It's a shock. If the body's been like this for so long, this is kind of like a bit of shock in some ways, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't happen again once you get rid of this tension. Excavation has just got these different issues, you know, whether it be deep-seated emotions coming out, or body cramp, you know, it's all because, yeah, it's getting better. Although when I say it's getting better, it's still quite a, you know, a little bit of a way. Cramp. Okay.
Can I?
Yep. Yep.
Yes, cramping in here.
Hip on the same side, I think. Yeah.
Not sure why I did this, but it was okay.
Yeah, this side. Well, remember, I tackled this side first, and it was just fucking overwhelming for you. I went to the other side.
Yeah.
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 And we've left the fucking worst till last, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's some of your deep, like this, you know, between these two toes, this is kind of some of your worst shit, you know. And that's what I call really stubborn tension, you know, like it may take fucking a few sessions, you know?
Yeah.
And, because these toes are definitely not anywhere near like that, you know, they're kind of, you know, still tight, but like get in there and it's a bit sore, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not, it's like, I'm probably pressing, you know, twice as hard here.
Really?
Yeah. And your big toe is, you know, it's definitely, I mean, it's got some, like up in here, you can feel that, you know?
Yeah.
Your big toe's not great.
Yeah. I don't think I want the anesthesia on those guys.
Yeah. I think just slowly but surely,
Okay.
you know? But I really want you to reflect on the anger thing, because I feel like you see, to me, the tight jaw,
Yeah.
the hip, it's all saying to me that you're holding your anger in. Yeah, all of it's pointing to that, you know? And then this is your feminine side, so, you know, whatever you need, there's something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's totally locked up down there.
Yeah, it's like I think maybe you buried something, you know, you buried some sort of emotion deep inside, you know, the anger, you know. You think your mother, or? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't, you know, other than just a general quick to anger, you know, but, you know, that's every redhead, right? Not only a redhead, but, you know, you know what I mean? Just,
Yeah.
You know, I do fly off the handle easily, but that's, you know, and I mean, you know, we are taught, but at the same time, you know, Vedic teachings tell us to lose your anger is, you know, temporary insanity, because you're not, you know, you're not controlling yourself, and you pretty much always regret later what you do in anger.
Right, that's why I think there's got to be a therapeutic setting for the release of anger, because otherwise people take, you know, if it gets to be a pressure cooker, and this is rampant, this is epidemic, you know, talk to any cop or whatever, right? Domestic violence, all this kind of shit. It's like, it's not just you, it's fucking epidemic, right? There has to be a way that it can come out, that anger can come out in a way that's not going to hurt anybody. You know, for me it was ripping towels apart with my teeth and screaming, and then fucking chopping wood. And then, you know, for other people it's a punching bag, or Corey is batting, you know, batting cages, you know. So it's kind of like, you got to get that energy out, because it's old, and it's not, you know, you don't want to, because otherwise what happens is it builds up, and then one little thing makes it go over. When you go, and then you go, well, wait a minute, that was an overreaction, and the reason why it was an overreaction is because you got the build up, and then it's the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, so it's kind of almost like pulling the pus out, you know. So I call it just decharging. I'm getting the charge out, you know. So that then you would be slow to anger. And then because sometimes maybe anger is necessary.
Absolutely.
You know, like somebody's attacking people that you love.
Absolutely.
You gotta, you know, you gotta get. There's a time where, but you don't want to jump to anger. You know. So it's like healthy use of anger, and it's like it's a fire energy. You know. You know, and that's kind of the stuff I work with a lot. Yeah, it's kind of one of the areas I've specialized in, anger release, and because not many people do it, and not many people are, you know, telling people how to do it, you know. But it's very hard, you know. Like I couldn't, you know, especially like in Australia, New Zealand, these kinds of societies. It's sort of like it's so, you know, it's so not like it's looking at my father's generation. There's just no way he could look at that and go, I've got repressed anger, and you know, I need to get rid of it. It's more almost part of the, you know what I mean? It's to become part of the culture is to clamp down on that, but then it triggers really quickly. Something small triggers people, you know. So I don't know. Right? Have a look at Primal Screaming. And then how it kind of died down in popularity, but I'm like, nah, this guy was onto it, you know, and just the power of that, and because that's again therapeutic release of anger, you know, in a therapeutic setting, in a safe setting, where you're not out of control. It's the same with like dealing with PTSD when I'm working with if I'm working with war veterans, you know, there's going to be anger, there's going to be set, you know, the anger might be at the fucking government that sent them into a war. You know, and there's a lot of anger. You know, it might be you know, who knows, right? Might be their commanding officer who did something stupid and let somebody that they know die or something. You know, there's plenty of reasons to be angry in this world. You know, mismanagement by politicians. You know, I get angry. You know, as you know, we all, you know, but it's just not good to hold on to it. But there's a difference between, I think, controlling it. If you become a pressure cooker, it's just almost, you know, like where your anger is built up, it becomes very difficult. You still want to control it, but you want to let it go. So, you know, so then it's not so difficult to control. That's kind of where I work with, you know, a lot of men's health kind of stuff, you know.
No, it all makes sense.
But it takes time to, you know, like, it took me a lot of time to kind of just absorb it and go, okay, I'm going to release my anger. Yeah, I'll have to get our friend Jason Jaguar to show you. I work on him, all he does is fucking scream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Without judgment, you know what I mean? Like I call it the non-judgment. He's just like fucking scream, swear, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it flows then. I just work on him, the energy. I tap the energy, he screams it out.
Oh,
I
really?
fucking work it, he screams it out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's really cool. But that had to teach him. That took quite a few months. Good. Yeah. Might just give your foot a little rest and work a little bit on the leg itself, just to give. I don't want to kind of like, you know.
Okay.